Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a first timer here, I post fragrance related content, and if that style of content is something that you love, please do consider joining us here by subscribing. And to those who are returning, thank you so much guys for the continued support. I appreciate you as always. As seen on today's title, welcome to the perfect Lattafa starter pack, a compilation of fragrances that I would recommend as best stepping stone into the Lattafa fragrances. So for some of you guys who may not know where to start, a video like this is probably going to help you. These are fragrances that I've picked according to strength. They're going to be Middle Eastern vibed kind of fragrances that are going to help you getting your nose used to how Lattafa does their fragrances, especially the Middle Eastern ones, and just general Middle Eastern fragrances overall. So we're going to go straight to the first one, guys. Number 8, 9, and 10 are going to be the hardcore, but we're starting with the softer ones so that if you want to pick the gentle ones, then make sure to listen to number 1 up to 5. So number 1 is going to be Sir Al Malika, guys, because this is going to be your gentle induction into Middle Eastern style of fragrances. It will tiptoe you into how oud fragrances are done from the Middle East. It also has an inclusion of fruits there, especially apple, that's going to come across as something that you're already familiar with. So it's going to be a light oudy fragrance working with a light fruitiness there, but with an exotic touch to it, enough for you to know that this is not the traditional, say, designer kind of scent, right? Can't totally blind by this. It's gentle, it's soft, but it does have a Middle Eastern touch to it. Second on the lineup, guys, is going to be Floral. Okay, I'm going to give it a quick spray there and then tell you my thoughts. This is going to give you the best of both worlds. It has the use of rose, and I think they have added geranium there just to add that minty, herbaceous, like depth to the floral mix, which is something that you are to expect from Middle Eastern fragrances where they are quite upbeat, guys. So you are going to get the best of both worlds in the sense that it's going to somewhat vibe as some of the traditional florals on the market, but it's the depth in the concentration that's going to tell you that no, this is on the exotic side, which makes it align with most of the Middle Eastern fragrances and fragrances to expect from Lattafa, especially when we're talking about, say, florals, right? Third on the lineup, guys, is going to be L'Autre Oud. Now we're getting a little bit tuned up a little bit. This is going to have the familiarity of the vanilla. It's going to have the familiarity of the oud. Remember, we started with Sir Al Malika, so by now you know the oud. Okay, so that's not going to shock you that much, but it's going to amp it up a notch because it's going to have the inclusion of the woods there. So it's going to be an oudy, woody, vanilla-y kind of fragrance. It has a medicinal tone to it, just a little bit of a medicinal touch, which once you get into number 6 or 7, you're going to be getting used to stuff like that. You know what I mean? It is definitely one that I would recommend if you wanted to build your Middle Eastern collection. You wanted to start with the Lattafas there. L'Autre Oud is not going to push the boundaries that much, but it's going to amp it up a notch. And it's sitting, guys, on our number 3. Now, fourth on the lineup, guys, is Nabras. If you've been doing your research on the Lattafas, you're probably thinking, well, Nabras is just a chocolate bomb. Why would she even include it here? Yes, guys, it does share similarities with Billie Eilish, but I've put it here because of the concentration of the cacao as well as the chocolate note on steroids. This is going to add a twist to your collection as to how polarizing some of the notes can be used in Middle Eastern fragrances, where yes, it is a fragrance that takes its inspiration from a chocolate-based fragrance, but they've given you chocolate on steroids. That is what you expect from this one, guys. It's sitting on our number 4, and it's Nabras. Number 5 on the lineup, guys, is going to be Al Noble Wazir. Now, Wazir is here because of how it has a lot of unexpected twists there. It's fruits meets woods, meets caramel, meets fudge, meets butterscotch. everything yummy there. So it is a gourmand offering, guys, from the Middle East. Also expect a chocolate there. So there's a lot of pages that this fragrance is going to unfold. They made sure that it's genderless, which is something that they do with most of their fragrances anyway. Most of their fragrances, guys, are marketed as unisex. You are gonna get the unisex aspect of this fragrance because of the inclusion of the Verchiver. The Verchiver in here kind of leans, I'm gonna say maybe 40% masculine, somewhere thereabouts, but it's a fragrance that both genders can wear without a problem. It also is gonna align with a lot of niche fragrances. So this is Al Noble Wazir. Number 6, guys, is going to be a citrus. I wanted to bring a dib here as well because that is another perfect citrus done the Middle Eastern way. But why I thought to just mention it than to bring it is every time I talk about it, some of you guys say it's not that accessible. This is Saphir, right? Just like a dib, this is a citrus with a twist, okay? Do expect a spiciness there, some pralin, because it's going to have a little bit of a creaminess there as well. There is a lime note that kind of comes to the surface there, making sure that you do identify this as a citrus amidst the woods, the spices, the aromaticness, a lot of things going on there. If you want a citrus that you are not going to identify as an outright, just a freshy citrus light kind of scent, this one is going to do it for you because of that herbal nature that introduces that feel of a Middle Eastern tone in the citrus, guys. So our number 6 is going to be Al Noble Saphir. 7th on the lineup, this you can blind buy as well, as long as you love tons and tons of spices. This is Camera, guys. This has got a cinnamon the way Lattafa loves to use cinnamon. If you took any of the Lattafa pamphlets, you will find that 7 out of 10 of the fragrances on the pamphlet do include the cinnamon note. Now, Camera is here because of that. This is cinnamon on steroids. It's working together with woods, together with dates. It's got like an apple pie accord. Everything in here is heavily concentrated. So if you want to try a spicy Middle Eastern fragrance, this one is definitely one that I would recommend. Not oudi, but very woody there, with the cinnamon doing the most amidst other spices. It's Camera, and it's sitting on our number 7. 8th on the lineup, guys, is Ajaib Dubai. This has notes that sound, look, feel divine. It lists pineapple, it lists a coffee there. But this is a sticky concentration of a fragrance. This is why I thought to add it here. The coffee comes across as very toasty there, to an extent even smoky. It also does have like a sticky tone to it there, a sticky feel of butterscotch. It also feels sweet. So there is a heaviness that is in this fragrance that might not be something that you want to try as a first, like the very first fragrance, So once you have, say, maybe tested out some of these fragrances that I gave you here, then this is not going to shock you. It's not an outright shocker to me because I do try a lot of Middle Eastern offerings there on the market, but I'm just saying maybe if you were to gift somebody this might come up across as odd, okay, because it is quite a daring fragrance there. Don't let the pineapple note be the one that makes you pull the trigger on this one, because the pineapple is carried by a smoky coffee note there, and that's why I thought to put it on our number 8, guys. Is Ajaib Dubai. Number 9 is Oud Al Sahra. This is one fragrance that I had to put on number 9 because according to this list, if you were to purchase this one, you would have graduated, to the more complex notes. This is a fragrance that to me leans masculine. It's a no-brainer if you were to buy it as a man, if you were to gift a man. But for a woman, maybe you want to sniff this, okay? It's oud meets leather meets woods meets ember. Everything in here is just amplified, and it's got an underlying smokiness to it. It can come across as offensive, outright weird. This definitely gives me Middle Eastern vibes. It's sitting on our number 9, guys, and it's Oud Al Sahra. Number 10 is probably going to be unexpected. This is screechy. This is so loud that I bet you 20 meters away, this fragrance announces you. So this is a fragrance that can potentially wear you. It's very strong. It is also quite sticky. You know, it's a fragrance that you may be just spraying it on yourself, but you probably, you know, smell your cupboards smelling of it, your juice bottles smelling of this fragrance. That is how sticky and polarizing it is. So it is an oody fragrance that you may want to test out, or if you blind bought this, you may want to just, you know, start with small sprays until you get used to it. It can be offensive. So if you are going to be around people in the office, maybe you ought to find out if your colleagues are okay with your fragrance taking over the moment, because this is a fragrance that totally rubbishes everybody else's fragrance. Very screechy there, very oody there, the oud being a bit on the skanky side there. That is why I put it on number 10. It is a fragrance that's a bit on the loud side. So that is the last one, guys. Number 10 is Oud Mood. And that wraps up today's video. Those are the 10 fragrances that I would recommend as a starter pack if you were to, you know, put your feet in the Middle Eastern fragrances and looking at the Lattafa fragrance house. Those fragrances that I showed you are not exactly 100% inspirations of fragrances that you are familiar with that are already on the market, but are going to be ideal as an induction into the Middle Eastern fragrance collecting in case you haven't started that journey or you wanted to know which one you would want to purchase next. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we obviously discuss more about fragrances. Let me know what your thoughts are and which ones you would want to start with or which ones you started with. Do turn on post notifications while you're at it. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this video, guys, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.